Climate change has caused an increase in desertification. The consequence for countries such as Mauritania is a significant drop in the agricultural production of some regions.
Les aléas liés
The risks related to the volumes of rainfall cause negative effects on the soil in terms of gulling and degradation. This means that as a result of the reduction of these areas, the production has been significantly reduced. We had a problem with irrigation water, and we had no fencing against the animals that destroyed our crops, and we used to work only in the autumn and winter seasons. The region of Guidi-Maka used to have significant rainfall. Now it barely reaches 400 millimeters. A new project implemented by the UN aims to make better use of scarce resources. This project helps us with irrigation machines and water tank pumps, seeds and fences and bigger water pipes. It helps us farm, and we thank them for that. Politicians and experts met last Friday in Madrid to discuss ways to tackle drought and the increasing spread of deserts across the globe. Disappointment in the DRC at the news of the postponement of Pope Francis' visit to the region. The visit was originally planned for July the 2nd to the 7th. According to a statement released by the Vatican last week, the Pope's ongoing knee problem is the reason behind the postponement.
When we received the news of the postponement, we received it with mixed feelings. Some, they said, yeah, I think God works differently from the way that we do our things. But others, I said, no, that is not good. You know, that is the mixed feeling that I had. But for me personally, at the beginning, I felt like our effort has been, we have exhausted our effort for nothing.
The Pope's visit would have taken place alongside the Archbishop of Canterbury and the moderator of the Church of Scotland, and would include South Sudan.
We will continue to pray for him. He has a heart for the people of South Sudan, and he has a really concern for the suffering people of South Sudan. It's not only for this ecumenical visit, but the visit has a purpose. The unity of our people, the unity of our leaders, the unity of the church.
The Vatican has cancelled numerous events recently, including a visit to Lebanon, scheduled for June. A joint project between a Nigeria film production house and Lagos state government is training students to make African stories for a wider international public. Nigerian filmmaking student Esther Abba is part of a new generation of Nigerian filmmakers who want to take Nigerian stories to an international audience.
It's been an awesome experience because I see film now from a different perspective, and I really understand what film is all about better now than what I used to know before.
Nigeria's domestic film industry, or Nollywood, is massive and prolific, second only to India's Bollywood in terms of movies produced and well ahead of Hollywood.
We have talent in Lagos and in Nigeria, but to work on an international scale, it changes a little bit. So what the school does, it formats the way people work on an international standard. In other words, we allow these guys to go through a full production cycle, from script development to casting, to pre-production, to production and post.
Nigeria's film industry made up 2.3% of the national GDP, or $660 million last year. The rise of streaming platforms is also creating demand for better films from beyond Western studios.
I think what Netflix and all these other platforms have done is exposed us to content beyond a particular region. So you're having contents from India. No, India was kind of known, but you're having like from South Korea, you're having from South America, you're having from Europe, some obscure country in Europe, you know what I mean? And these are mainstream contemporary stuff. So it's making a lot of Nigerians, a lot of filmmakers now realize like their stories can actually be seen in a universal scale, but at the same time, they have to conform to certain, relatable ethics, storytelling techniques, what kind of stories.
For the Lagos state government, the investment was part of a drive to help the city's creative industries. 2 more film schools will be part of the program.
Action.
In Johannesburg, Alexandra Township, a recently renovated building, serves as the first dojo of this deprived neighborhood. Around 20 school children are here to learn to live together, according to the coordinator of the Judo for Peace organization.
Friendship, respect, they are all things that are taught on the mat, on the tatami, as we call it. So these are things that children learn day by day. By participating to the activities, by working together, they learn to live together as well.
The aim of the program is to use judo as a way for refugees, migrants and South Africans to meet, get to know each other and learn the moral code of this martial art.
It's very meaningful to have like a migrant coach here, a Congolese coach in a place like Alexandra. It's a place where people can get used to see refugees as someone who brings skills to the country.
Recently, xenophobic attacks have returned to this deprived neighborhood. An anti-migrant group is behind demonstrations and hit-and-run operations to chase away illegal migrants. Having a Congolese refugee as a coach is also very symbolic.
Pour moi, ici à Alexandre, toutes qui vivent ici sont mes
For me in Alexandra, everybody who lives here is like my family. I'm Congolese, I'm black, I'm African, we are all African. For me it is important to help the children here because it helps everybody. So when we learn, what used to be difficult becomes easy.
Pour accomplir ce qui était peut-être difficile, ça peut devenir facile.
World Refugee Day is marked this Monday with many events all over the world. Sudan's wheat harvest is at risk of going to waste after the country's cash-strapped government backed out of promises to purchase it at favorable prices. This farmer is one of thousands who have cultivated the grain as part of Sudan's largest agricultural scheme named Al Jazeera. Now he fears his efforts will not be rewarded. The Agricultural Bank wants us to pay for our loans in wheat according to the encouraging price, which was set at 43,000 Sudanese pounds. One must register with the bank the quantity they will supply, and the bank will determine the quantity it will take. And if there is a surplus, they will shelf it, according to what we heard. The UN has warned that over 18 million people in Sudan are expected to be pushed into extreme hunger by September. Russia's invasion of Ukraine threatens to compound Sudan's problems. The negative consequences will start showing in the short term. People will refrain from using fertilizers and pesticides, or they won't be able to prepare or buy them. There will be a problem due to the depreciation of the Sudanese pound and the fact that farmers have no money. According to a 2021 UN report, wheat from Russia and Ukraine make up between 70 to 80% of Sudan's local market needs. Last month, farmers staged a protest outside the Agricultural Bank. Given all these complications, if the Sudanese government does not understand the ramifications of these issues, there will be huge problems for the economy and the agricultural sector. Farmers may refuse to cultivate wheat in the next season. This year, local wheat production was forecast to cover only a quarter of the country's needs, according to the UN.